Hi guys, so in this science video for this week, I'm going to talk about inherited traits for plants. So if you have been working on the packets or even online, you have noticed that we are talking about the plants. We did do a soil properties test whenever we planted that one seed in different soils. So again, think back on those plants and how they started growing. So for this lesson, we're just going to talk about inherited traits from plants. So inherited traits is something that you get from your mom or your dad. So think of it like yourself and a plant. So maybe, the color of your hair, you maybe got it from, your mom, or maybe the color of your eyes, you got it from your dad. So we're going to start looking at the way plants look and see why they look the way they look. So on this slide, it shows you the baby plant, which is right here, and then it shows you the adult plant. So as you can see, between these two plants, there isn't much of a difference except the height. So this baby plant is still tiny and still growing. This one is already the adult plant. But as you can see, nothing has really changed from the baby to the adult. As you can see, the color of the flower is still the same from a little plant to the adult plant. The leaves still look the same. So I don't know if you can see back here of the adult plant. The leaves look the same still. They still have the long stem going to the adult. So again, inherited traits is something that you get from your mom or your dad. So same thing like plants, the baby plant gets the yellow flowers from the adult plant. So flowers usually carry seeds in the middle, and those seeds are being carried by the wind, and then, they're being dropped in other places, and then that seed starts growing that plant all over again. But again, that plant doesn't change much because it's going to inherit what the adult plant already had. So let's look at another example. So it says, how are these adult and young plants alike? So as you can see, right here we have a corn plant. So between, again, from the baby or the young plant to the adult, you can see that the leaves look the same. So we can already say that the shape of the leaf is already inherited. So the color of the leaf is also inherited. So you can see that the color of the leaf and the shape of the leaf and the length of the leaf is the same from the young plant to the adult plant. If you look over here on this side, the strawberry plant, you can see that the roots are also growing the same. So again, young plant, the shape of the roots or the way the roots are growing looks the same to the adult plant. So you can say that the roots are already inherited. Same thing with the leaves. If you can see the leaves, the shape of the leaves, they're the same color, same shape. They just get bigger and bigger. The only difference between the strawberry plant is the fruit. So if you can see, the young plant doesn't have the fruit yet until it becomes an adult. You can also see flowers in the adult. So over here at the corn plant, the young plant doesn't have the corn yet. It has to grow into it. So let's see if we can see other examples. So this is another one, and it says, how are these adult and young plants alike? How are they different? So between these two plants, again, you can see the leaves are still the same, the color are still the same. Um, this one right here, I think is the adult plant, and then this is the young plant. And you can see the little strawberries right there. As you can see, they inherited the fruit. So because the adult plant had the fruit, the young plant is also going to inherit the fruit. So what are some inherited traits of plants? So from the examples that I just showed you, from the strawberry plant, the corn, um, this plant, I'm sorry, the yellow plant, we were able to see that the color of the flowers were inherited. So again, the young plant is usually going to have the same color of the flower that the adult or the parent plant had. So these are the inherited traits. The color of the flower is usually going to be the same. The shape, the color, and the size of the fruit it produces. So again, the strawberry plant and the corn plant. So if the adult plant is produces corn, then the young plant will also produce corn. Same thing with the strawberry plant. If the adult plant has fruit, the young adult is also going to inherit that and make the same fruit. The shape, the color, and the size of seeds is also inherited. The shape of the leaves is inherited. The height of adult plant is inherited. Tendrils, thorns, spines, and shallow roots. So again, these were really, really good examples showing you that the size, the color, the roots, the color of the flower, the color of the leaf, the size of the leaf, the roots, they're all going to be inherited and they stay the same from the young to the adult. Again, these are some different types of leaves that some plants will inherit. So if the adult plant has these type of leaves, the young adult will also inherit the same type of leaf. This is just a quick chant to help you remember inherited traits. So again, it just says inherited traits are what I already have. I get them from my mom and I get them from my dad. So again, think of yourself and think of some of the traits that you have, like the color of your hair, the color, of your eyes. You look the way that you do because you got those traits from either your mom or your dad or even from your grandma or your grandpa. So again, it is the same thing for plants. They look the way they look because they got it from the adult plant. All right, guys. Well, if you guys have any questions about this, please post it on the Google Classroom or send me a text on Remind. And don't forget to answer your question on the Google Classroom.